Hi, Sagittarius. Let's do your July 2020 forecast. It's good for the Sun, Rising Moon, and Venus sign of Sag. Keep in mind it's a general reading, not a personal reading, so it's not going to resonate with all of you because it isn't meant for just one of you. Check your Rising Moon or Venus sign. They'll be up in the next couple days for all 12 zodiac signs. You could find messages there. You can schedule a private reading with me as well for a personal message just for you. The link to my website to schedule is in the description below. Also, you need to check out my other channel called Soma, Chandra, Libra. I read for Libra, Sagittarius, and sometimes Cancer on that channel every 72 hours. And on that channel, we hyper focus on love. This can apply to any part of your life: health, wealth, love, destiny, or your spiritual path. Okay. The great thing about a prediction is that it hasn't happened yet. I see you guys standing in your power this month. But I do see it ending on a little bit of emotional apathy. So the great thing about a prediction is that you have time to correct your course and make changes. This will just be what happens maybe if you sleepwalk through life, right? So I think some of you have been dealing with a person that kind of can't let you go, and or you're in a situation where you're not sure if you're over romanticizing it or being realistic or not, and you're not sure how creative and grounded you can be in the situation. But I see you, and you might have even been dealing, if it was a relationship, with a person that was somewhat indulgent in some way, and they kind of jerk you around with communication and emotions. That's why I think you guys are the King of Swords in the middle of it all for July. So the oracle cards that came out of the Spirit of the Animal Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed, which I can never stop using because the animals that we live in symbionts with are powerful totems and they have powerful messages for us. Flamingo Spirit, embrace the in-between and reclaim your power came out. Koi Fish Spirit came, there is always enough. So right now in July, you guys will be in an in-between phase. And when Flamingo Spirit comes out, the important message that it gives you is to stay in the present moment, learn your lessons from the past, and yes, look at the future, but stay in the moment so that you don't feel wobbly and shaky. It can be a time when we feel a little bit of emotional boredom or apathy. It's just meant to give us time to figure out how to get more creative moving forward in situations. And watch that you're not having a hard time dealing with codependencies in other people when Flamingo Spirit comes out. Panther Spirit came out, reclaim your power. I think in July you will be tested and you will feel a little fearful. And I think you might feel like you're in a predator prey situation and you're having a hard time not being afraid of a situation and looking it in the eye. There is nothing to fear but fear itself when Panther Spirit comes out. I think there might be some situations around you where you feel a little powerless. You're not. It's all part of a bigger plan to help you figure out where you can pour into your life. And knowing you need to know that there is always enough. I think that this is a person around you that you'll deal with where you feel like they might be very indulgent, or maybe you had to indulge them. Someone caved into indulgences. Watch for that. Because when Koi Spirit comes out, we need to be reminded that there is always enough. You don't need more. You're not really lacking, in particular emotionally. You might feel like a small fish in a big pond. You might not feel like you have enough resources or not enough information. They're telling me right now in regards to information, read between the lines and look at the details. If something's making you feel a little powerless, there's a clue there to it. You have enough information to help you make a decision. They just told me that right now. Yeah, that's good stuff. So at the center of it all, the overall energy you will be in, and I could be picking up on your energy or the energy of a person around you, the King of Swords. This is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. And I've said this to a zillion Sag in my life. I often think when I meet a Sagittarius, I think they're an Aquarius because Sagittarius is the one fire sign that is particularly preoccupied with the truth. So I mistake Sag for an air sign when I initially meet them. Here you are pulling on that energy. Sagittarius is very preoccupied with the truth, and you are often leaders. You're meant to expand. You're often called to a greater purpose, and you have a message in society, and you're constantly wanting to expand and grow. But there are times when we have to Yes, we want passion, and yes, we want growth potential, and yes, we want to share a message and learn more. But I think July will be very much about getting grounded in intellect and authority. The King of Swords has mental clarity, he has intellectual power, he is authoritative in his own life. He has pretty high standards and he demands the truth. I see this King of Swords within you cutting through to the truth. You may appear to be detached. The kings embody the full power of a suit. A queen creates the environment, the knights express, the pages deliver and receive information, and they study. I see you standing in your power, standing in your truth. I don't, King and Queen of Swords do have a heart, but this is kind of like, look, this is the way it is. I think you feel the need to take charge and have total authority in a situation, and you might not show a lot of other people emotions. That's because you're trying to cut through to the truth and make the smartest decision moving forward in July for yourself. The catalyst or the challenge is the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands, fives are like cards of change. Sometimes they're about conflict and loss, but they are often about change. A Five of Wands is about competition. It's about a little bit of a disagreement or a battle of wills or a push pull. It's a tension. It's a diversity. It can often be about a group dynamic. It's not the Five of Swords. This is dress rehearsal. It's practice. They put their wands down and they're like, that's a great spar. Thanks a lot. The Five of Wands came out for Leo too. Some of you might be dealing with a Leo um, or have some Leo in your chart because that came out for them as well. So the Five of Wands in reverse, the challenge or the catalyst is someone might not want to try something out with you, or you yourself feel the need to be somewhat conflict avoidant. You need to release tension. You might have a lot of inner conflict. You might be the referee in some situations, even within yourself, where it's like, all right, break it up. I'm going to stand in my power here. The challenge is just staying in your power and sticking to the truth in the face of inner conflict or dealing with others or even within yourself where you need to release tension and be somewhat conflict avoidant. I see you guys, the challenge will be not having to put up with that and just stand in your power. What seems to be driving you looks like something tough. Ace of Pentacles in reverse to the Nine of Swords. They call it cruelty in this deck. So for some of you, this is about career. A pentacle, an ace of pentacles, the pentacle is the base quality of anything. So what's driving you is pentacles, things manifesting into abundance in the 3D. An ace of pentacles is often a new financial or career opportunity, or it's just the start to something where we're handed or hand someone else one pentacle and it starts something that will grow. I'm seeing that what's driving you is some of you might feel like you've lost an opportunity or you lack a plan or foresight. You're waiting for this grounded new start, but this seed either isn't germinating, it's not taking off, you're not planning it, and you are starting to worry about it. Face any anxiety, worry, fear, any sleeplessness, any depression. This might be a pill that's hard to swallow that's keeping you up at night as well. When the Ace of Pentacles is in reverse, if it was a lost opportunity, don't look back on the past like Flamingo Spirit asks you to. It might be threatening your own power. There are plenty of fish in the sea. There is enough for you. It might just be about timing, and it might be something that you just have to work through and address your feelings. There's a reason why this seed isn't being planted. In the past, the part of the past that is most significantly contributing to the present moment for July, Eight of Cups in reverse to the Queen of Cups. This looks pretty relationship-y. The Queen of Cups can sometimes be a wife or a mother. It can be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, not necessarily a married person as well sometimes. This is someone who creates a very compassionate, caring, emotionally stable, and intuitively in flow environment. And the Eight of Cups in reverse is about emotional indecision. Do I try one more time? Do I aimlessly drift away? I think in the past, you had a hard time deciding what you wanted emotionally, and you chose to come back because you really had love for a person or a situation, and you wanted to be compassionate and caring, or you thought that this person had love for you, or that a compassionate environment and your intuition was serving you right. But sometimes the Queen of Cups can love to a fault. You might have thought, well, I really love this person or this situation. I don't know what I want to do. I want to come back and try one more time. Or I think this person really loves me. I don't know, this is tugging on my own abandonment issues. What's the right emotionally spiritual path here to take? Will I get growth out of this? And I think at this point, it's gotten to where there's conflict avoidance and it's stressing you out because the seed just isn't being planted. I think that's why you stand in your power, very much so. Even if this is about work, it's like, do I try one more time? I really love it here. I intuitively and emotionally and instinctively believe I can create a really compassionate environment here. I don't know. Can I really plant this seed? Will it really manifest into abundance? And when will it manifest? What you're thinking about all the time, Five of Pentacles to the Nine of Wands. I really like that your response is the Nine of Wands. It means you're not afraid of obstacles and challenges and you have good boundaries. The Five of Pentacles is where we're worried. We feel isolated. We're lonely. We feel left out in the cold. This is also financial loss and poverty. Some of you are really worried about finances and resources right now. But Pentacles can even be anything you consider currency, emotion, your sleep-wake cycle, just about anything that's important to us can be considered currency. I think you're worried about being left out in the cold. I think you are feeling like, am I having a lacking mindset? Are there resources available to me? Am I doing this just because I'm lonely or worried? I think you are fearful of isolation. But I see you saying, okay, look, if this is about work or money, just hang in there. Don't give up the fight. Don't give up. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. Life is a battlefield. Love is a battlefield. It's a test of faith. I think in July you will be tested. I see you saying to yourself, be resilient, be courageous, be persistent, but have good boundaries. You're feeling a little guarded. You feel as though it's a test of faith. You might be in a situation where you feel left out in the cold because a person's very guarded with you. They don't disappear, but they're still not giving you what you want, or this could all be you. So keep that in mind. Like, if someone won't get in there and work through it with you and they're making you feel left out in the cold, just keep your boundaries up. But it might be time to rework something in some way. Keep that in mind. Your actions for July, the Empress in reverse to the Eight of Wands in reverse. So an Empress is a Taurus or a Libra. It is a married woman. It is a mother. It's a highly creative, intuitive individual. This could be you. This could be a person around you that you're dealing with. An Empress has very high standards. She is the queen of all queens. She is incredibly creative. She's wifey. She's boss lady. She has it all together. She puts up with no shit of any kind, but she will be nurturing, practical, giving, and grounded. And there's a lot of fertile ground in a situation. And a lot of transformation is possible as well. She is usually pregnant in some way. There's fertility in it. I think you're feeling like, again, this could be you. This could be a person you're connected to. If it's you, Sag, you're not sure there's a lot of fertile ground in this situation. You're having a hard time feeling like you can get creative. Some of you are stepping down out of a role of authority in a situation. Some of you feel like, I need to take care of myself first. I can't, the Empress in reverse can sometimes equate to some health issues you need to work through. You need to take care of yourself and mother yourself before you can mother others. It can be addressing codependency. Watch out for somebody trying to smother you. It can sometimes mean divorce or stepping down out of a role. Work on your own creativity and get grounded. You deserve that in your life, and focus on your own health and self-care as well. I see you feeling like you can't really get creative in a situation, or someone's not showing you a lot of fertile ground either. Someone could be going through a divorce, again, stepping down out of something, and that creates a lot of delays and frustration. Eight of Wands can be about messages, movement, action, alignment, air travel, and it's very fast. In the reverse, there's delays. Someone resists change. They have to go in for internal alignment. It becomes frustrated. Watch out for impatience, impulsivity, feeling out of control or panicked. Someone might message out of nowhere, out of codependency and out of a feeling of panic in some way. That's a very specific message. But in general, I think you are going to slow something down, or something will slow down. If this is about, they're giving me a very specific business message right now. Some of you, my entrepreneurs and my business people, You need to get a little bit more flashy with your marketing. Revamp your LinkedIn, your website, add personal pictures, reword some of the stuff on your website. You need to get a little bit more creative and create a little bit of more of a, I'm seeing a lot of color as well that needs to be added. A little bit more creativity will bring in a little bit more traffic. I'm also seeing funneling your business as well. That's a little blocked up. I'm seeing creatively blocked up. So they just told me that for a career message as well. But try not to panic or get frustrated. I see things slowing down so you can get in that present moment and find ways where you can get more creative and get a little bit more commitment in the relationships you're in as well. I like the way you see yourself, though. Some of you are stepping down out of a leadership role, even retiring, or being in a maternal role and stepping from the Empress into a knight. The knights carve their way in the world, they leave the castle. And the Knight of Pentacles is here, and Temperance. There you are. That's your card. I see this as a pretty logical, practical way to go. This Knight of Pentacles doesn't like to go far from the castle. He's a little stubborn as well. He likes to stay close to home. It's not like the Knight of Wands or the Knight of Swords. So I see you seeing yourself as hardworking, productive, wanting a steady, conservative routine as an employee, as a romantic partner. This could have to do with an adult child as well. This is a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, in particular Taurus here. He's on a bull, toiling the fields close to the castle. I see you carving your way in the world, having something to prove, and putting in a good, steady, hard working routine. Prince of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles is the proverbial workhorse of the minor arcana. So I see you seeing yourself as being very dependable and proving something to yourself and everybody else in this situation. You also see yourself as divinely guided. This is your card. Temperance, calm, peace, harmony, moderation, patience, the middle way. You might appear very focused on career and your daily routine and not showing people a ton of emotion with Temperance and the King of Swords here. That's because you're working through some inner conflict and you really want a good routine in your life. That's how you see yourself. And the Temperance is the angel that's divinely guided. An energy around you. This could be a friend, family member, coworker, boss, romantic partner, whomever you're thinking about right now. They see themselves as the Page of Swords in reverse. The way they feel about you is the Four of Wands in reverse, clarified by the Two of Swords in reverse. And their action towards you is the Nine of Cups in reverse. I don't know what this person's going through, but if they communicate with you or you deal with them at all in July, it could be very hasty, haphazard, on again, off again, out of nowhere, out of a bit of stalemate confusion. And if they take any action towards you, it will be out of an indulgence. And they're not really very satisfied. When the Nine of Cups comes in reverse, it's just not a wish come true because nothing is ever good enough. This person might even have a drinking problem or they are excessive in some way. That's not true for all of you, of course, just for some of you. But I think this person might not reach out. They see themselves as a page and they see themselves as a page in reverse. And pages in reverse deliver no news or bad news. This person might be a little bit of a shit talker. They have a hard time with self-expression. Page of Swords in reverse is all talk, no action, or haphazard action, or hasty action. They might block you in communication. They're not really getting all the facts. They're not having any new ideas. They're not thirsty for knowledge or curious. This could also be a child. If it is a child, this child might have learning disabilities, autism, ADHD, something like that. Not necessarily, but sometimes having an issue with communication and getting all the facts. But if it's an adult, most of let's face it, we're all here for romance, right? This person's kind of not great with communication. They might not want a homecoming with you either. This person lacks some stability. They are in transition. They could be moving. They're focused more on inner harmony. They're having a hard time just being joyful and relaxing and setting up a good foundation. They also feel really confused. This is the Two of Swords in reverse is a Libra energy. It's confusion, it's indecision, it's information overload. They've weighed their options and it was a difficult decision for them how they felt emotionally to the point where they're at more than an impasse with you. They may open up and communicate out of nowhere, but if they do, it will just be to satisfy an indulgence in them. or it's just not a wish come true for them. So you need to know that about this situation. They seem to be in a place of transition and lacking in stability. They are struggling figuring out discernment and the truth and what really makes them happy. And they need to work on communication. So you just keep being the King of Swords and, working through any anxiety you're having, you know, just work through that. Try not to get frustrated either, because I like the way you see yourself. You're like, I'm a good employee. I'm a good boyfriend. I'm a good girlfriend. I'm a good person. I work hard. Maybe I'm not ready to be in the castle yet and be a king or a queen or tied down or in a leadership role or married or whatever, or in that place, but I'm working on creating a nurturing, practical environment. I'm working on my security and my discipline and my abundance, and I will get there through moderation with perspective and patience. Kudos. I see this person as being a little bit of a whirlwind for you, so be careful of that. I think you will be with the King of Swords. The way you're feeling, strength in reverse to the star in reverse. Okay, Leo here, Aquarius, Libra here. It's not hopeless and you're not inadequate, okay? Strength only comes when it's called for. I think in July, you guys need to get a lot of extra rest. And don't be afraid to ask for help from others. Strength is like the human resources department in our own lives. When strength comes in reverse, something is drained. We have a lot of self-doubt. We have a hard time taming desire, raw emotion, pride, and ego. We're a little fearful that we will act out of impulse and we feel a little drained. So take care of yourself. Spend some time alone. I do see you guys worried about some stuff. And with this Knight of Pentacles, you're going to be working really hard. So, and you'll be frustrated because things are moving slowly. Take care of yourself. The star is here for you. The star is where we find purpose and we feel positive and motivated and free. It's a sense of hope. And it's a renewal spiritually from within. When the star is in reverse, you are simply in a place of healing, finding your own strength and your own power, and you are learning to trust yourself. It's not hopeless. Maybe you feel a little disconnected right now. It's time to pour into yourself. July will be about learning to trust yourself and learning how to have strength of character with those that mirror that with you. Okay, don't cave into your own inadequacies. You know how to be strong. Absolutely. I think this might even be a person you're dealing with. Well, then you're like, well, if they're not going to face me and they're not going to communicate with me, it's hopeless. You're not hopeless. Maybe the situation, you just need to stay in that present moment. It'll help you reclaim your own power, right? Like Flamingo and Panther suggested. What we're ending on, Knight of Cups in reverse to the Four of Cups. Now, I got to tell you something about these knights. This is a person between the ages of 20 and about 35. And unless you're about 18 to 20 years old, a knight energy is really hard to sustain. The knights flip into the reverse for a reason. That's because we're flipping around on a horse or we're going somewhere. It's usually a knight on a horse. You can't do that day and night. That horse needs rest. That horse needs water. That horse needs time to rest, and so do you. So the Knight of Cups comes in reverse a lot. I honestly think that the Knight of Cups is one of the most difficult energies to sustain. It's Romeo in our own life. We're creative, we're romantic, we're charming. We see all the beauty in a situation. We're very creative, we're very imaginative. It's where we or a person around us can pour their heart into something. Whew, that's actually kind of a lot to do. When the Knight of Cups comes in reverse, something just wasn't what we thought it was. Maybe we had an overactive imagination. Maybe we're being a little unrealistic. Maybe the honeymoon phase is just over in a job or a relationship or a situation. Maybe somebody's a little jealous or moody, or maybe they're just stressed out, or you are. If this is you, if you're the Knight of Cups, we can't write a romance novel in our lives all the time. It's not always going to feel that way. Get some rest, okay? Get some rest. I'm seeing some energy of tired here and knowing that you need to be moderate. Keep that up with your temperance. I think it's a person around you. The Knight of Cups in reverse, worst case scenario, he has a tantrum, he gets stressed out, and he's like, he cannot consistently express love from the heart. Most of us can't. It's a lot, you know. If you're feeling a little, and this Empress in reverse and the Knight of Cups in reverse suggests being creatively blocked up in a situation. Maybe it's just time to come up with a good strategy and pull out of your emotion a little bit. You feel like you need to for some reason. You are worried, you are stressed out. So, and with all this hard work with the Knight of Pentacles, I think it's more like right now I have to be a little bit more practical and grounded as opposed to romanticizing the hell out of something. I think this might be a person around you, though, that you kind of feel like they're going to mope or you're going to mope. The Four of Cups is a time of a little bit of emotional reevaluation and some meditation. We contemplate it. It's kind of a moment, though, where we refuse all other offers. We have a hard time getting something out of our head. We can't really reach for that cup we're thinking about, but the three in front of us don't look great either. I think July will be a little bit about emotionally reevaluating something. Don't live in regret in the past, and don't think the grass is greener on the other side. Allow some focus on the negative, but not to the point where you completely withdraw. It's okay if you can't be Romeo in your life all the time. And if someone else can, and this person might just want to mope, or you might be a little mopey about them, it's okay. You know, you just stand in your power and you keep up your good routine and being balanced and moderate. And remember what your oracle messages were, which were embrace the in between. It's meant to give you a time to stay focused on the present, and it's time to help you, gives you time to address your fears with Jaguar Spirit and reclaim your power, knowing that there is always enough. And if it's not enough for somebody else, that's their problem, not yours. You're the King of Swords and Temperance after all. Okay, Sagittarius, that's your reading for July 2020. I hope this helps you if it resonates. If only parts of it do, or you want a more personal message, book a private reading with me. The link to my website is in the description below. And don't forget to check out Soma, Chandra, Libra for love messages. I do have a July prediction for just relationships over there on that channel. I'm always listening to the universe for you, Sagittarius. Take care of yourselves. I really love you guys, and I'll see you next time.